Michio Kaku is a physics professor at the City University of New York and host of Sci-Fi Science on the Science Channel. Professor, it's nice to have you back. Cut and cap. You've described it as a science experiment taking place a mile below the surface.
And we are the guinea pigs.
But what is it feasible? See, feasible. We're looking at these giant shears. We're looking at this diamond cutter, all being operated remotely, robotically. Is it feasible?
It's feasible. At 200 feet, all these methods work. All 7 methods that they've tried actually work at about 200 feet. But we are 5,000 feet below the surface. So think of a fire hydrant that is open, blowing oil in one direction. That's what we're up against.
Bob Dudley, who's one of the chief officials at BP, said to me he's optimistic, more optimistic about this than he was of the top kill. But we have to remind people this procedure they're performing right now is not to seal the well. It's to capture the oil that's coming out of the well.
And it's deja vu all over again. Last month we did a very similar procedure, but then methane ice crystals got in the way and clogged the siphon pump. This time, in order to prevent these icy hydrates, they're pumping hot water and hot liquids to dissolve this ice.
Now, he told me that once they had used this diamond edge tool to cut what they hope will be a clean cut around this pipe, they have 4 different caps standing by, and based on the cut, what they see, they'll determine which cap to put on. What if none of those caps works?
Well, none of these caps is going to give you a perfect seal, but they want to get a seal good enough to siphon off most of the oil, and that's the whole trick. That's why they're using diamond wire cutters, to try to get it as smooth as you can so they can cap it and minimize the overflow, minimize the amount that's going to be gushing out from the sides.
But the fact is, once they've made this cut, and they already made one last night, we now have more oil seeping out. So if those caps don't work, we've magnified the problem.
That's right, up to 20% more oil, we think, because we're slicing off the pipe. And remember, the broken pipe was bent and prevented some of the oil from escaping. Now it's going to escape unimpeded.
Let's move forward to the worst case scenario. Let's say that cut and cap does not work, and now we're left in the waiting game and the drilling game, drilling these relief wells. It's been described as trying to hit a dinner plate under the surface in the bedrock from about a mile away. What's your level of confidence in terms of that procedure?
You would have to win the lottery to get on the first try an exact meeting at the bottom of the well in order to pump cement to shut it off.
So if you don't win the lottery, you have to keep trying and redirecting that drill?
You have to make the drill go backwards, pump cement to seal what you just did, and then re-drill it. And you have to do this over and over again until you get it just right. It takes many tries. So August is optimistic.
So this could be spewing oil for months. Could it last for a year?
It could last for years, plural, okay? If everything fails and all these different kinds of relief wells don't work, it could be spewing stuff into the Gulf until we have dead zones, the entire dead zones in the Gulf for years.
Professor Kaku, thank you. I appreciate your time this morning.